out.
This is getting better and better.
Get some recipes.
Look at that.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe you've done this.
Welcome to the Evolve Podcast, a podcast that explores personal evolution through our choices and overcoming life's challenges. The Evolve community is your ultimate destination for personal growth and evolution.
True to form, I get to continue to be the dumbest person in the room. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Did you ever get a quantum physical explanation for how to bake a meatloaf from a corn star? Bake a meatloaf from a corn star?
And you're listening to another Evolve Short. Today's topic is defining wealth. And guys, today I want to talk about one of the cornerstones of wealth, which is your physical wealth. Now, wealth or poverty in life can be broken down into four basic areas: your physical wealth, your financial wealth, your spiritual wealth, and your relational wealth. So today we're talking about the body. And I've really got two questions, I guess. Number one, how do you define your personal physical wealth? What does that look like for you? But then also, how do you consistently invest in your physical wealth? Casey, let's start with you. How are you defining what your physical wealth is, and what are you doing to consistently invest in it?
Well, it's an never-ending deposit into a bank account, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I define mine a lot these days on my ability to never lose a step with my interactions with my kids. And
yeah, great bar.
My oldest has moved out of the house. She's on her path and doing her thing. But my two that are still at the house here, they're very active in athletics and other activities. And so I want to be right there with them. I want to be able to go to the park and work on their game, or go to the gym, or go whatever, and be a part of that evolution for them. And so for me, it's setting goals, both exercise and diet or lifestyle eating goals that are giving me the opportunity to be that person for my kids.
Yeah,
and
be
that
there and
seems
show
to
up.
drive me and create more consistency than if I was just doing it for myself. So.
Yeah, that's great. I think a lot of dads feel that way. Unfortunately, I don't know that a lot of dads put the time and investment into it, and they tend to be just on the sidelines. So what are you doing to invest? What's something that you are consistently investing in to make sure that your physical wealth is there?
So I invest in, the concept that we all have 24 hours in a day, and we all have the freedom to choose how we spend those 24 hours. And so making sure that I'm consistently doing something every day to move, whether it's low impact cardio, whether it's high intensity weight training, and anything in between. I set up my weeks where Steve, you and I've talked for months about this, and I got into consistently going on walks. And now I've turned those into a run walk. There'll be certain aspects and areas of that walk that I'll run every time, the hill part or whatever. And I just evolve into making that a longer walk or more intense or whatever the case may be. But I found the benefits of that, and it just fuels the consistency of it. I've also big into the how flexible and mobile can I be physically, so that I can accomplish what I said earlier about keeping up with the kids. And so flexibility is huge. I spend time every day stretching and those things. And it's interesting when you think, well, I got to give up something to get something. And that's true. Yeah. The time that I have given up doing other things that were whatever they were, I'm now getting more out of the time doing things that are helping me physically improve. And on the eating side of it, I spent some time with a nutritionist a couple months ago and things like that to really figure out some things and learning and understanding nutrients and what to eat and how to enjoy food and not have some type of crazy relationship with food, but just eat and live and enjoy life and keep moving has kind of been where I've gotten to, and not being looking to punish myself or.
Yeah.
You know, you made a comment months ago about you love donuts, and you know, who doesn't, right? But
I made a comment about that this morning too.
Oh, did you? I probably did too. But
Yeah.
a lady at the office brings a box of donuts every Wednesday, and for a while there, I didn't touch them. And now I go by there and I'm like, oh, there's a maple bar in there. That's got my name all over it. Let's get busy.
Touching, huh?
Let's get busy. So I crushed that maple bar, and I case consistent with my everything else in life. And you know what? That maple bar doesn't put any pounds on me. So
Yeah. It's that healthy relationship with your body and that healthy relationship with food. It's a physical thing, but I'd say it's as much mental as it is anything
absolutely.
else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
the
Miles, how
more
about you? How do you? Sorry, go ahead, Case.
No, I was just saying, the more I see myself depositing in that bank of physical ability, physical health, you know, the times when it's 4 a.m. and I don't want to get out of bed, or I don't want to do this, I know that I can draw strength from that and it gets me moving. So.
Yeah, that's great. So, Miles, how about you? How do you define your physical health, or excuse me, your physical wealth, and what are you doing to invest in your future physical wealth?
Well, my evolved family community, on the physical fitness front, I have failed you. And I have failed myself. Because I am not as active as I used to be. I'm not as active as I like, even though I do go in and out of bouts of, you know, some yoga. If I was to claim anything, I eat really well. I eat really, really well. My
you eat like a
kitchen
foodie. Yeah.
Right.
Wide
But my
variety.
kitchen, my kitchen is, if you look at my refrigerator, it's filled with just green stuff and fruits and vegetables. Occasionally I'll eat meat. Had steak last night. I'm going to have steak tonight. I take certain types of supplements. So I'm highly conscious of it. But I have not actually gone out and physically worked out. My weight has maintained, and I think my weight has maintained because of the eating. I don't put a lot of crap in my body.
Yeah.
And occasionally I do. I mean, you've seen some posts with some muffins and ice cream. You know, I'm like, my relationship to things like that is similar to what Casey was talking about. You know, when this woman shows up on Wednesday with the donut, have a donut. If she starts to show up every day with a donut, shoot her.
Tell her to stop showing up.
Tell her to bring veggies and hummus.
Right.
Right. But basically,
all right. So I got a challenge for you then. So if you're saying that you're failing in the movement side, this is Evolve Podcast. Our brand is about personal evolution. So what's your commitment right now to Casey, to me, to you, and to the Evolve community? What are you going to start doing?
What am I going to start doing? Okay. So
yeah.
Let's put this in the proper context. I have a really bad hip that I'm struggling to figure out what to do. It's probably going to have to be replaced. So what I've been doing, I am the great preparer. Nobody prepares like I do. And after the preparation is done to actually do it.
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit leading to procrastination here.
No, for really, I'm a great preparer. and so I say that to say you'll see where this is going. I went and looked on YouTube, Instagram, to look at all of the types of yoga that's available for people with certain types of injuries, which was chair yoga and things like that. So I've built up a big thing of different chair exercises. I recently started playing with them. So that's my commitment, is now to take that a step further and then actually create a plan where every day I'm doing 20 to 25 minutes of that type of movement. That's my commitment.
All right, I love it. So here's what we're going to do. As soon as this episode drops, Miles is going to start posting. You see, if you go to Miles' Instagram account, you'll see pictures of his food. You'll see pictures of the plants in his house that are growing to show the growth and evolution there. Now, we're going to start seeing pictures of Miles doing his exercise, right?
Wow. Well,
We're committing you.
Right.
I'm disrupting you because I'm. This is evolve. We've got to evolve, and you just committed it right there.
And I don't want to. I don't want to come off as having imposter syndrome.
So no imposter. We're holding you to it.
Right. Well, it's
okay.
So necessary. See, this is the tribe thing. This goes back to an earlier short about the tribe, because the tribe does this to you.
Yeah, the tribe is forcing you and pushing you to take that next step.
Why are you pushing back, Miles? Why are you pushing back?
Because this is something I need.
Yeah.
So you're going to push back on it?
I would look like an idiot if I pushed back.
Good. No pushback.
No pushback.
All right.
One step at a time.
What about you, Steve? What are you doing?
You know, for me, defining my physical wealth is I want to have, just like with my financial wealth, I want to have reserves. I want to have things that when I'm investing in something, I want there to be a reserve. And what that means is that I want to be able to, I think like Casey is saying, I want to be active. My kids and I are not super active together. You know, they're older, they're off kind of doing their own thing. So that used to be a motivation for me. It's not really a motivation anymore. But I want to be able to pull from the well of energy at any point in time. I want to be able to, if a sickness or a flu or whatever it is going around, I want to be able to get hit with that and just not have it affect me at all. So my definition of physical wealth is that I have a breadth and depth of resilience. And so I want to be able to bounce back and keep doing what I've always been doing. I had a friend of mine that I was sitting on the bike with probably 4 or 5 years ago, and he was in his early 80s. And was just a beast of a guy. I mean, he was multiple triathlete, and in his late 70s and early 80s, he was still snowboarding and beating guys that were, you know, not even a quarter of his age. And so that's how I define it, is I want to be able to continue to do that type of stuff for the rest of my life. So what I'm doing to invest in it is I went for about 3 or 4 years really investing in nutrition education and not just nutrition education, but what's my relationship to food? Because I would swing from this ultra clean eating to eating a bunch of garbage and feeling super bad about it. And I realized that just was not healthy for me. So I'm now transitioning into how do I continue to invest in my overall strength and build my body that way, and yet do it in a way that I can bounce back and keep going. You know, like I've been lifting really heavy lately, but the problem is that one day I was lifting so heavy that I threw my back and my hips out, and I had to go see Skylar Main, who we had on an episode previously, to do some dry needling and some work, and I've been relatively out of commission off and on for about 2 weeks now. So my challenge to myself and what I'm investing in is experimenting with how do I go hard and continue to be able to go hard. What does my recovery need to look like? So that's where I'm going to continue to focus so that I can build my strength and continue to build that bank of physical wealth. So how about you, our listeners? What does physical wealth look like for you? What are you committing to? Are you going to join Miles and start posting your workouts so that you can be a part of that tribe? And what does the daily investment in your physical wealth need to look like so that you can be your absolute best? And there you have it, folks. Another Evolve Short is in the books. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at evolve_cast. Join the Evolve community by going to evolve-cast.com to pick up our clothing line. Like this episode, life is short, and now it's time for you to get out there and evolve.
And evolve.